and I'm sorry for keeping you. The class was supposed to start 8:30 and we are starting now at 9:20, so please pardon me. Can somebody please confirm you can hear and see me? If you can hear and see me, please confirm by... Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for those feedbacks. I appreciate it. I know a lot of us are struggling to join, but don't worry, the sessions are recorded. So we'll be posting it on YouTube after the class if you can't join. And I apologize if you have hiccups or challenges with your network or the app, the Microsoft Teams app. We'll see how to get that sorted out before the next class. So please pardon me for your challenges. Apologize for your challenges you are experiencing currently. I can see some people on the platform saying they cannot join on the WhatsApp platform. So sorry about that. And if you can join, maybe restart your handle, or you have the app. Don't go through browser. Maybe you install the app on your Android or your iPhone. I think that would help get that very seamless for you to join with the app. The app is better than joining via the browser. All right, so I welcome us to the call once again. For those that are joining for the first time, and for those that are retaking the paper, reattempting the paper, I'll just give a brief introduction of myself. My name is Gabriel Josiah. I'm a member of ICAN. I started my journey into career and work as a marketing officer in Interweb Global Business. I studied accountancy in Ahmadu Bello University from the year 2004 to 2009, 4 years precisely. And I graduated with a BSc in accounting, precisely a 2-2, which I was not happy for, but then it's fine. I really wanted a 2-1, but I couldn't make it, but thank God all the same. So I graduated from AB in 2009, and I started working in 2010 after my service year. 2011 after my service year. So I did a bit of some marketing job in Interweb Global Business at Yola, Adamawa State before my service. I served in Kano State from 2009 to 2010. And I worked in Lagos in Duke Scott Hotel at VI. Adeola Adeku. For those that are in Lagos, you know Adeola Adeku. Please, if you're not muted, can you mute, please? I'm hearing this noise. Someone is not muted.
Hello?
I kind of get distracted if you're not muted. Please, if you're not muted, please. If you're not speaking, please be muted. Please.
Hello? Oh.
All right. Thank you very much. Please, if you're not speaking, mute so we won't get distracted. Appreciated.
Let me mute it.
Okay. I think I'll have to mute the person from here. I'm not even seeing the person. That's the challenge. Okay. I think I've seen the person. Yeah. All right. So pardon me. Pardon that distraction, that little distraction. So I said I started as an accounting officer at Duke Scott Hotel. I worked less than a year, and I had to resign because of the complexities of the job, and having gotten admission back to the North to do my master's, I decided to leave and come back to continue my education. I got an MBA admission back to ABU in 2011. So I resigned from my job in Lagos and came back to do the master's, which after that, I got a job. Less than 2-3 months, I got a job with GMG Limited, and I was an assistant accountant in Kano. So I worked there in GMG for 5 good years, 2011 to 2016. And I had 2 master's degrees in that same organization. I had started my ICAN then. I finished my MBA in that same organization. And I started master's in treasury management at Bayero University, Kano. And I finished that. And I spent 5 years in their employ, 5 years at GMG. And was a rewarding experience. And I moved to Orange Groups Limited, an FMCG in the same Kano. I worked as branch accountant for 3 years to 2020 before COVID. And I resigned before COVID and moved to a manufacturing firm also in Kano as an internal auditor. I worked there for a year. Then I moved to the healthcare space, the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority Diagnostic Centers, and I served as also internal auditor of Kano and the Umahia Centers. And I worked there for 3 years from 2021 to 2025. And I resigned in May 2025, and I'm currently in the mining space. I work in one of the interests of Rosemary Industries Limited. They have several interests: oil and gas, FMCG, ceramics, hotel, but I work in the mining interest in Kano as a senior internal auditor. All right, so I tutor case study. For those that don't know me, I tutor case study, and that was what started me into tutoring. I was one of the best candidates for case study. In my center in Kano, I wrote case study in 2009. 2019, I beg your pardon. 2019, I wrote case study, May 2019, and I scored 78% at first attempt. So that made Kano District Society appoint me as a lecturer under the ICAN NMDC partnership. And I started tutoring case study. And after that, I transited into audits online. I don't teach audits physically. I only teach case study physically and online classes. And I also started audits because I love audits and I'm into audits. So I'm married with kids, and my passion I'm a practicing Christian, and my passion is teaching, and I love audits very much. So that's a brief of me, and just for those that don't know me, we'll get into work. We'll get to work right now. Whatever I'll be bringing up in the class, you'll get to know that about me as time goes on. All right, so let's get to work. We've taken so much of our time today. We'll be looking at the Advanced Audit Assurance and Forensic May Diet class. And typically we'll be introducing the paper, and I tagged it an introductory class or an inaugural class as practice to pass or prepare to pass, or let's say plan or prepare to pass. So it's a May diet lecture plan and how we're going to navigate the diet. Last diet was incredible. We had some good reports, good testimonies, which had been shared with some of you and has made you guys to join. It's a free platform to help those that may not be able to afford paid tuition. And that's the essence of me coming up with this platform. And I recorded very good passes. And of course, we record some failures, even though not palatable. But then the platform has helped a lot of people, and we return the glory to God. So much testimonies and also feedbacks that has helped us fine-tune this plan. So if you are in the November 2025 classes, there's going to be a shift a bit from the normal class schedule we went through. So we're going to be going through a different schedule, and we inoculated or incorporated those changes based on the feedback we got from students. And this is to help drive your participation and your engagement to ensure that you pass the AAAF paper seamlessly and with speed. So we'll be going through the plan, and we'll be going through the content of the study text. The Pathfinders will be looking at the past questions, And everything we'll be going through, we'll be looking at that to help us understand how to navigate this paper very easily and seamlessly. So the introduction is the diet plan. It's a plan for the May diet exams, and I want us to follow through. So our lecture days are Mondays and Thursdays, all things being equal. And I know towards the tail end, maybe around March, April, we may have to speed up, add some days to catch up with some of the contents because of time. Time is of the essence. I work full-time, 8 to 5, and I also prepare for exams. I'm currently preparing for a professional exams, and it's quite engaging for me. It's a sacrifice, but then you have to bear with me at times. Maybe I have an excuse, lectures may not hold, I'll communicate appropriately, but I'll do my best to ensure that I deliver and I'm on time. I'm on time. If I don't, please understand with me. I'm also a full-time worker. I'm also a family man. And I also have personal exams, professional exams too. So bear with me, but I'll try my best to see how to deliver. So our lectures will be Mondays and Thursdays for now for the AAAF paper, because Tuesdays and Fridays are for case study, 8 to 10 p.m. If we have to overlap into weekends, maybe Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, I'll communicate appropriately. Okay, so let's look at the materials we'll be using quickly. We'll get to work. The materials we'll be using for the lectures. So your Bible for the Christians in the house, and for our Muslim brothers, the Quran of your ICAN Audit, Advanced Audit and Assurance, or Advanced Audit, Assurance and Forensic paper is the study text. The 2025 ICAN study text is your Bible. So please, that is your Bible, that is your Quran, that is your diary, that is your favorite book. If you love novels, please, you have to read the study text. There is no shortcut to passing AAA. You have to read the study text. Please take note of this advice. You have to love the study text and you have to read it. You have to read it. These lectures are complementary. They are not a substitute for the study text. They are not a substitute. Oh, somebody is not muted again. Please mute. You kind of get me distracted. Please mute. Please mute. If you're not muted, please mute. And if you want to speak, please feel free to interject. Just raise your hand and I'll halt to pick your thoughts. If you have something to say, you have a question, please feel free to interject. But let's not distract the class, so we could continue and close in due time. All right, so I was saying about the study text. It's recommended that you read it at least 2 times. If you can't, at least once. With other materials, my lecture slides will not be directly from the study. It will not be directly verbatim the study text. It's going to be tweaked, but the study text was used to form my slides from chapter 1 to 16. So take note of that, but you have to read the study text. I beg you. You're busy. Yeah, but the AAAF paper, the foundation is the study text. So please go through the study text. Very important. And number 2, we'll be looking at the ICAN past papers, which we call Pathfinders, past papers and answers. Very important. So we'll be looking at 12 diets past. We'll be using the most current diet, which is November 2025. And every chapter we look at in the AAAF study text, like in the last diet, we'll be using the past questions and every question that resonates with that chapter to answer or read and practice each chapter. So we're going to be using the same diet or the same pattern of the last diet to attend to this current diet. So like you can see on the slides, we'll be looking at the ICAN. Oh, permit me, I didn't ask. Please, can you see my slides? Can you see my screen very clearly? Please. Somebody should confirm you can see my slide. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, so the ICAN Pathfinder, we'll be looking at November 2025, the latest, and we'll be splitting all those questions across the chapters that were tested. So every chapter from chapter 1 to 16, we'll be looking at the questions or the areas that were tested and integrate them into the chapter lectures, but we'll be making reference to or cross-referencing each of the diets to say this is the diet that tested, for example, chapter 1, the meaning of audit and assurance, chapter 2, regulatory environment, chapter 3, ethics and professional framework or something. So each chapter will mirror what was tested. That's how we're going to be looking at the Pathfinders. All right, having said that, the ICAN AAAF study text has 6 chapters. So from chapter 1 to 16, we're going to be looking at it graphically. Now, I have integrated based on the feedback from some of our candidates that were successful in the last diet and some that will be reattempting the paper. We'll be studying each chapter, and each unit, for every chapter, we have 80 units. So like chapter 1, there are 2 units. Chapter 2, there are about 6 to 7 units. We'll be looking at that. So we'll be studying each chapter and the 80 units in the chapter during our section. So we'll be looking at them unit by unit. And that will help us with that compass to navigate these lectures very seamlessly. So after each unit we've studied in a chapter, we'll practice a question. And the question is not going to be the kind of MCQs or the OBJs you see at the back of the study text, because that's not what's going to be tested on the day of the exam. So we're going to be practicing a question using the current ICAN exam type scenario-based question. Don't forget, in the last diet, you have scenario-based questions. So the current dispensation, you'll be having scenarios. So you integrate those scenarios into your thoughts and answer the question. That's how we're going to be practicing. So if you look at the last slide, there are 80 units. So expect to practice 80 questions. Why are we doing this? We got a feedback from students or candidates in the last diet that it would be good to be question-centric. So from chapter 1, you're already getting prepared for May diet. Every question is mirroring exactly what you're going to be seeing in the exams. So take note of that. So for 80 units in these 16 chapters, you're going to be practicing 80 standard ICAN exam questions. And this is a disclaimer. None of those 80 questions are in any of the Pathfinders. You won't see those questions in any of the Pathfinders or the past Pathfinder. For whether 20 diets passed, you won't see it. I prepared it specially during the break so that you can have a plethora of options, a plethora of questions to practice. Everything about the AAAF paper is practical. It's practical. I've been in audit for at least 5 years now, and you have to wear the hat of an auditor to be able to pass the AAAF paper. So after each chapter, we'll be practicing also the ICAN Pathfinder question. So for each unit, we'll practice a question. Then after that chapter, we'll now take the ICAN past questions that tested the chapter practically using diets from the most recent, which is November 2025, down to March, July 2020 past exam papers, which is 12 diets. So this will get you robustly prepared, and that's the plan. All right. So having said that, let's look at chapter 1 and what we'll be working on in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the meaning of audit and assurance. Chapter 1 is the meaning of audit and assurance. So we have 2 units in that chapter. The first unit is the meaning of assurance. Second unit is the meaning of audit and audit-related services. So currently, if you don't have the study text, you're already behind schedule. I've shared the study text on the platform, so please make sure the study text is always with you on your phone, on your handles, your tablets. Make sure you're using the study text to read. If you're a soft copy person, if you're a hard copy person, please print it and work on it. And don't worry, I'll be sharing these slides after the class. I'm supposed to be sharing it before the class. Don't mind me. I was rushing to come and meet us, and that's why I couldn't share it. But for each chapter and for each study units we'll be looking at, I'll be sharing the slides very promptly before the class, so you could follow through the slides, the questions before the class. Very important. So chapter 1 will be looking at 2 units, as you can see on the screen. And after the 2 units, or after each unit, we'll be looking at the practice questions. So for unit 1, the meaning of assurance, there's a practice question on the assurance framework. And you have 3 marking structure for your questions. Number 1 is 30 marks. Then question 2, 3, 4 is 20 marks each. Then question 5, 6, 7 is 15 marks each. So depending on the volume of that unit in each chapter, we structured the marking. But be rest assured, every unit question you'll be seeing will be 15 marks or 20 marks or 30 marks. Yes, Sean's hands flash. Your hands flashed now. Please interject freely. Please go ahead and speak. Sean's hand flashed. I saw your hand. Please go ahead. Shane, you want to speak? Or that was a mistake? We can't hear you if you're speaking. I can see you're muted. You're muted, Sheung Ola, but I can't hear you. Sorry, can somebody confirm if you can hear me? Can you confirm if you can hear me, please?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Well, Sheung, maybe you're having network with, you're having challenges with speaking. I can see you're muted, but you're not speaking. Okay. But his hand flashed. I saw his hand flashed. All right. Please feel free to interject. If you have a thought that strikes when I'm speaking, you want to clarify, please feel free. Interject and I'll halt to get your thoughts. Okay, fantastic. So Unit 1, we'll be looking at the assurance framework, and it's a 15-mark question. Like I said, every question will mirror the volume of that unit. If the volume if the unit is voluminous, then it will be 30 marks. If it's quite voluminous, medium voluminous will be 20 marks. Then if it's less voluminous, it will be 15 marks. Take note of it. And each question will mirror what we just looked at in the unit. So for Unit 2, Chapter 1, we'll be looking at the meaning of audit and audit-related service. And the practice question will be scope and purpose of statutory audits versus audit-related service. And that will be a 15-mark question, mirroring exactly how ICAN will test it if you are writing it on exam day. All right, let's move. After we finish those 2 units, we'll now be looking at past papers, Pathfinder debrief sessions from November. We'll start with the most recent, November 2025, down to March, July. So we'll be looking at every question that tested Chapter 1 from ICAN's perspective. We're looking at every question that tested Chapter 1, and you use it to practice. This is very important. So let's run number 2, or Chapter 2. We'll be looking at the regulatory environment. Chapter 2 treats the regulatory environment. And we have, okay, on this slide, we have 3, we have 2, which is 5. All right, so we have 5 units on the regulatory environment. The first unit is regulatory framework and auditor mandate. Unit 2 is professional standards and the regulatory framework. Unit 3 is corporate governance and the audit committee, a very frequent question the examiner loves to test, Unit 3. Unit 4, ISA 250, which is consideration of laws and regulations. And Unit 5, money laundering and auditors and the auditor's obligation. So these are the 5 units for Chapter 2. And we'll be looking at the first question for Unit 2, which is the regulatory framework and the auditor mandate. We'll be practicing a question on regulatory requirements and the auditor's tenure, which is 20 marks. For the next unit, we'll be looking at the international standards and auditor responsibilities, another 20-mark question. Then for Unit 4, we'll be looking at question on corporate governance, responsibilities, and the audit committee, another 20-mark question. And for Unit 5, we'll be looking at non-compliance with laws and regulations, which is NOCLA, which is another 20-mark question. So those are the 5 units. Okay, the 6th unit, I beg your pardon, will be the auditor's role in anti-money laundering and compliance, another 20-mark question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think it's 7 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are 5. Okay, sorry, 5 units. So this is the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 units in Chapter 2, the regulatory environment. So these are the questions. Most of them are medium size, and that's why you see it 20 marks for each of those 5 questions. After the 5 questions, we'll now be looking at past papers that treated Chapter 2 from November 2025 down to March, July 2020. So take note of that. Okay, Sheon Ola's hand flashed again. Okay, so let's see if we can hear you speak now. Go ahead, Sheon Ola. Sheon, you have the floor. Please go ahead and speak. Sheon, are you speaking and we are not hearing? Is somebody hearing Sheon and I can't hear him? I can't hear him from here.
I can't hear him either. Possibly should just drop the message on the chat.
The chat box. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, AA, for that. Thank you, AA. So please, Sheon, we can't hear you. Not only me, we can't hear you. So please, drop a message on the chat box and we'll take your thoughts quickly. All right, so let's run. Chapter 3, professional and ethical issues. Professional and ethical issues. We'll be looking at 4 units in that. Okay, Sheon, again, your hand is flashing. All right, go ahead, speak. Sheon, please speak if you can. Or like AA suggested, please put your thoughts in the chat box or your questions, your concerns, we'll address it. We can't hear you. All right, and I hope maybe children are not playing with his handle or something. Please check if your child or your ward is playing with your handle. I don't know. Because it keeps flashing and you're kind of distracting me. Oh, okay, then you may need to...
But I can see the screen here. Possibly I should log out and log in.
Exactly, fantastic. So please log out. Oh, okay, I can see your screen. I'm hearing you. All right, sorry about that. So please log out and log in or restart your handle. Sorry about that, Sheon. Thank you. So please, like AA said, please log in, log out, and also maybe restart your handle. It's some of these handles get jam-packed and they may need restarting. All right, thank you. I've addressed that concern and I hope you're back shortly. Okay, so like I said, chapter, where were my thoughts now? Okay, so chapter 3, we're looking at 4 units, the fundamental principles of ethics. The next unit, independence, threats and safeguards. The next unit, confidentiality and conflicts of interest. And the final unit for chapter 3, corporate financial advice and independence. So for this first unit, we'll be looking at a question which is 20 marks on the application of fundamental ethical principles, 20 marks. Second unit, we'll be looking at threats to independence and firm safeguard, another 20-mark question. And also the third unit, we'll be looking at confidentiality, improper use of information and conflict management, another 20-mark question. And finally, we'll be looking at corporate finance services and ethical threats, another question which is 20 marks. Then we'll now look at chapter 3's past papers, practice sessions, we'll have debrief session on chapter 3. All right, so chapter 4, professional responsibility and liability. We have 4 units also, expectation gap and professional skepticism, fraud and error, ISA 240, the second unit, the auditor's liability, third unit, and the last final unit is managing the auditor's liability. 4 units in chapter 4. The questions will be 20 marks for the first unit, expectation gap and professional skepticism, fraud, error, and auditor's responsibility, another 20 marks for the second unit in this chapter. The auditor's criminal and civil liability, 20 marks also for this next unit. And the final unit, managing liability and insurance, which is 20 marks for the final unit of chapter 4. Excuse me. So we'll also look at the past papers that treated chapter 4 from November 2025 down to March, July 2020. All right, having said that, we'll also look at chapter 5, a recent injection, a new topic. We passed it before the study text was released for the last mid-diet. So this is a fresh topic we'll be looking at in this dispensation, and that is quality management for professional firms and engagements practice management. Is a fresh topic. So we'll be looking at the 4 units in that topic, that chapter or that module, looking at quality management, ISA 220 and ISQM 1, International Standards on Quality Management 1. We'll also look at the question there. We'll also look at changes in professional appointment, look at obtaining and charging for professional work, and the final unit, agreeing the terms of the audit engagement, which is ISA 210. All right, so we'll look at the first question on the new engagement, which is 30 marks, a robust 30 marks question. So we're mirroring the question one you may be seeing. So the first unit is 30 marks. Second unit will be appointment of new auditors, 20 marks. And third unit will be looking at ethical issues and marketing, or ethical issues in marketing and fees, 20 marks. And the final unit, the engagement letter and preconditions, 15 marks. And that will be it for chapter 5, which is the last session. We'll be looking at debrief sessions on the past papers that treated November 2025 down to March, July on this chapter. We're looking at questions that treated that from the ICAN Pathfinder perspective. All right, having said that, we'll look at chapter 6 in the next class, which is the audit approach. The audit approach, and we have also 4 units for this chapter. We'll be looking at the first unit, audit strategies. Next unit, the business risk approach. Next, the system-based approach. Next, the statement of financial position approach. And for each of these units, we'll be looking at questions that resonate with those units. The first unit will be looking at selection and application of audit strategies, 20 marks. The next unit will be looking at business risk approach and application, 15 marks. And the next unit will be looking at internal control components and audit reliance, 20 marks. And finally, we'll be looking at substantive testing and small entities, which is the final unit on chapter 6. And that will be 15-mark question for this. Then we'll also look at past papers from ICAN Pathfinder from November 2025 down to March, July 2020. All right, so interject freely if you have any questions, please, or concerns or contributions or thoughts. Please share your thoughts very freely. Okay, so we'll on to chapter 7, which is planning. And we have 5 units for planning, spanning from the audit plan, audit risk and sustainability assurance, materiality, computers in auditing, and NGO audits, not-for-profit organizations. I'll be looking at questions on the first unit, looking at planning and the audit strategy memorandum, 20 marks. Audit risk and sustainability assurance, we'll look at audit risk response, audit risk assessment, and response for a complex entity, 20 marks. Next unit on materiality, we'll be looking at application of materiality in planning, another 15-mark question. And we'll look at computers or IT controls, risk assessment, and computer-assisted audit techniques, 30 marks for this unit. And finally, for the NGO unit, we'll be looking at audit risks and approach for a charity. It's a 15-mark question. Then we'll now look at the past papers from November 2025 down to March, July 2020. Okay, so we are getting to the heated technical chapters. Chapter 8, audit evidence. The technical chapters, audit evidence. All right, so audit evidence has, okay, four, and we have 5 here. So audit evidence has 9 units. First unit, audit procedures and evidence. Second unit, audit documentation, ISA 230. Third unit, related parties, ISA 550. Fourth unit, written representations, ISA 5. Sixth or fifth unit, auditors expert, ISA 620. Seventh unit or sixth unit, this is 4, 5, 6. Okay, sixth unit, using internal audit, ISA 610. Seventh unit, auditing accounting estimates, ISA 540. Eighth unit, audit of specific areas, IAS 36 and IAS 38. And finally, revenue and receivable cycle, the last unit, about 9 units in audit evidence. You be rest assured this unit must come out. This chapter comes out always, because audit evidence is everything about audit. All right, so we'll be looking at questions. The first unit is 30 marks. Audit assertions, evidence quality, and substantive procedures. We'll be looking at the next unit, 15 marks, purposes, content, and review of audit documentation. The third unit, related parties, we'll be looking at undisclosed related party transactions and fraud risk, 20 marks question. The next unit to be looking at written representation as audit evidence, 15 marks. Next unit, auditor's expert, reliance on an auditor's valuer, 15 marks. Next unit, using internal audit or evaluating the audit or the internal audit function, 15 marks. And the next unit to be looking at auditing the allowance for expected credit loss, looking at estimates, 20 marks. Then we'll be looking at auditing, accounting, asset impairment and intangibles, which is IAS 36 and IAS 38, a whopping 30 marks question. And finally, we'll be looking at revenue and receivable cycle, a full 30 marks question on the audit of sales, revenue and receivable cycle. We'll also look at past papers for this chapter, which is very important. I think I skipped that slide. We'll be looking at past papers based on November 2025 down to March, July 2020. All right, chapter 9, another technical chapter, which is evaluation and review. Please confirm you can hear and see my screen. I think everybody's quite quiet and I've been speaking for a while. Confirm you can hear me and see my screen. Okay, fantastic.
I hear you clearly.
All right, good. I can see our emojis. Thank you for that confirmation. Thank you. Okay, so chapter 9, we'll be looking at evaluation and review, another technical chapter. And 4 units are in chapter 9. We'll be looking at evaluation of misstatements, ISA 450. The next unit, opening balances and comparatives, ISA 510. Third unit, subsequent events, ISA 510 and IAS 10. And also the last unit, going concern, ISA 570, one of ICAN's favorite areas they like testing. So 4 units for chapter 9. And for the question practice we'll be practicing is, for the first unit, we'll be looking at evaluating uncorrected misstatements, 15 marks. Second unit, opening balances and comparatives, which is initial audit engagement and opening balances, ISA 510, another 15-mark question we'll be treating. We're looking at the third unit, subsequent events, the audit of subsequent events on ISA 560 and IAS 10. I'll also be looking at going concern, which is evaluation of going concern status, a whopping 30-mark question, because this unit is frequently tested. They tested it in the last diet. Going concern always comes. Very important. I'll also be looking at past papers from this scope, November 2025, and down to March, July 2020. All right. Another big topic, group audits. Group audits. It was tested in the last diet also. So group audits, we're looking at 5 units. First unit, group audits, ISA 600. Second unit, group audit preliminaries, ISA 600. Working with component auditors, auditing the consolidation process, documentation and communication are the 5 units we'll be looking at. So we'll be looking at question on the first unit, planning and risk assessment in group audits, 30 marks. We're looking at assessment and acceptance of a group audit, 20 marks. We'll also be looking at the third unit on group audit strategy, communication and joint audit analysis, 30 marks. We'll also look at 20-mark question on this unit, audit of group acquisition and consolidation adjustments. And finally, we'll look at communication and documentation in a group audit, the last unit, which is 15 marks. Then we'll look at the past papers testing or that tested from November 2025 down to March, July 2020. All right, a less complex area, chapter 11, we'll be looking at audit-related services. We have 4 units in this chapter, and I think I skipped the past questions. I checked through the document when I was preparing this slide, and I didn't see the questions. So before this chapter, I should be able to get that back. So we'll be looking at 4 units, agreed upon procedures, compilation, engagements, investigations, then liquidation, and bankruptcy. We'll also look at questions that treat each of these units. Then we'll come to past papers to test our understanding of this chapter. All right, so chapter 12, another less complex area, really tested, is not frequently tested by ICAN, but also a significant area, which is assurance services. Okay, so we have 3 and 3. Okay, fantastic. So 6 units in this chapter. We're looking at the first unit, Introduction to Assurance Engagements. Next unit, Objective and Nature of Assurance Engagements. Third unit, Main Types of Assurance Engagements. Fourth unit, Prospective Financial Information. International Standards on Assurance Engagements 3400. Frequently tested also. The next unit is Proforma financial information in a prospectus, PFIs, another favorite of ICAN. Then finally, forensic auditing. We're looking at this 6 units in this chapter. All right, so questions around the assurance framework and assurance levels, 20 marks for the first unit. Elements and reporting of assurance, another 15-mark question. Value for money and electronic commerce assurance, 30 marks for that unit. Then for the next or fourth unit, we'll be looking at assurance on prospective financial information, 30 marks. And we're looking at international standards on assurance engagements, 3420, and pro forma assurance, which is 20 marks on that unit. Then forensic accounting and professional conduct, a whopping 30 marks for that question. Then we'll look at past papers that treated this chapter. Okay, so another small topic, internal audit and outsourcing. We have just 3 units in that chapter. We're looking at internal auditing, this unit 1, types of internal audits, unit 2, and the final unit, outsourcing, and ISA 402. All right, so we'll be looking at questions on establishing an internal audit function at Petrotrans Limited. Okay, that's the name of the scenario question. We're looking at internal audit at Steelco PLC, another 20-mark question. And we'll be looking at question on outsourcing risks and the auditor's response, which is ISA 402 on outsourcing. To wrap up, it's a 30-mark question to wrap up this chapter. So we look at past papers treating internal audits based on this scope, November 2025 down to March, July 2020. All right, so the main significant topic that must come out in every diet, and that is the crux of the matter of advanced audit, assurance, and forensics. The big chapter, I call it the big 14, is called reporting. So just know this chapter must come out, and that is everything about audits. You must prepare a report. All right. Technical chapter, but then it's navigatable. So we're looking at, okay, we have 3 units on this slide. 3 units on this slide, 6. 2 units on this slide, which is 8. 2 units on this slide, 9. So we have 9 units for reporting. Wow, a whooping 9 units we'll be looking at for reporting. Okay, so the first unit, the expectation gap, and also true and fair view. Next unit, the unmodified auditor's report, key audit matters, and ISA 720. Third unit, CAMA 2020 reporting. Fourth unit, modified opinions, ISA 705 and 706. Fifth unit, the auditor's responsibilities, ISA 720. Sixth unit, opening balances and comparatives. Seventh unit, going concern on the auditor's report. Eighth unit, communicating with those charged with governance, ISA 260. On the 9th unit, communicating internal control deficiencies, ISA 265, and finally, specialized reporting, ISA 800, 805, and 810. All right, so we'll be looking at questions on this first unit, public perception and the audit opinion, 15 marks. We're looking at reporting for a listed entity, Alpha Tech PLC, 30 marks. We're looking at statutory reporting for ICAN PLC, 15 marks on that unit. And we're looking at audit modifications at Megachem Limited, 30 marks. Wow. We'll also be looking at inconsistencies in the annual report of Global Exports PLC, 20 marks. And we'll be looking at reporting issues with prior period information at Delta PLC, 15 marks. And we'll be looking at reporting ongoing concern at TurboFit Limited, 15 marks. Then we'll be looking at communication at Zenith Energy PLC, 20 marks. We'll also be looking at the next unit, internal control deficiencies at Secure Tech Limited, 15-mark question. And finally, specialized audit reporting for the maritime project, a whopping 30 marks question. Then we'll look at past papers. So you see, with these 9 or 10 units, it will be inevitable if you truly practice these questions, read the study pack, and not get yourself adequately ready. The essence of this question is not to load you with enough information. So people will be like, this is too much. But then AAAF is work. It is work. And you see, when you practice and practice and practice, you get so conversant with the subject that if you look at a question that is presented to you on exam day, you just know which chapter. If you've really done the work, put in the grind, you know which chapter is tested, you know what technique, you know how to address each prompt of the examiner. Because we'll be looking at those prompts in all these questions. Assess, advise, compare, contrast, all those things will be tested. So those are things you should practice. And don't look at this as volume of work. Of course, audit is work. So I know a lot of temperatures are rising. I say, oh boy, this diet no go easy. Well, it's not go easy, and take it hard so that you can pass it very easily. And that's what we are doing. So it's not to load you with a lot of information. No, it's to get you very, very prepared. All these questions will get you prepared. When I was preparing them, I was like, wow, if I had such resources, I won't write AAA 3 times, But then that's why this platform is here to help you. If you're writing for the first time or for the second time or the third time, is to ace it ASAP very seamlessly. All right, so second to the last chapter, we'll be looking at chapter 15 on current issues. And for this unit, we have, this is 4, and this is 4. Okay, so we have 8 units. The first unit, current issues. Second unit, audit liability and professional structure. Third unit, transnational audits. Fourth unit, the audit of smaller entities. Fifth, social and environmental impact on audit. Sixth, social and environmental reporting and verification. Seventh, emerging technologies. And finally, CAMA 2020 key changes. So we're looking at question on independence and rotation at Alpha Tech PLC, 30-mark question. We'll be looking at mitigating liability risk in audit practice, which is 15 marks. So we'll be looking at auditing global logistics company, 20 marks. We're looking at the next unit question on comprehensive audit planning for Apex Traders Limited, 30 marks. Also be looking at environmental compliance at Aqua Clean Chemicals PLC, 20 marks. We're looking at assurance on the sustainability report of Green Build Company, 30 marks. Second to the last unit for this chapter, we're looking at technology risks and the modern audit, 20 marks. And the final unit, we'll be looking at a question on impact of CAMA 2020 on corporate and audit practice, 15 marks. Then we'll look at past papers, which are scanty. There are scanty past papers for this chapter, but then the scanty ones, we'll still look at them. And finally, application of information technology and audit, final unit or final chapter for the audit, advanced audit and assurance of forensic study text. So we have 3, 4, 3. So that's 10. We have 10 units for this chapter. We're looking at the first unit, governance, risk and compliance, GRC, COVID framework. Next unit, third unit, risk in electronic business. Fourth unit, digital forensics. Fifth unit, robotics. Seventh unit, NDPR, Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. Next unit, NDPR compliance framework. And those are the units we'll be looking at. So we'll be looking at questions on navigating technological transformation in audit, 20 marks. We're looking at integrating IT across the 5 audit phases, 15 marks. Also be looking at deploying project management and risk tools in auditing, 20 marks. We'll also be looking at implementing a GRC strategy, 15 marks. And for COVID, this unit on COVID, we'll be looking at COVID for IT, governance and control. And for the next unit, we'll be looking at risks in electronic business, question on managing risks in digital commerce, 15 marks. And we'll be looking at digital forensics in a fraud investigation, 30 marks. Then we'll be looking at leveraging automation and smart devices for audit efficiency, which is 30 marks. And we'll be looking at the next unit, NDPR principles and cloud risks, 15 marks. And final, you need to be looking at mandatory compliance and penalties under NDPR 20 marks. Then we look at the past papers that tested this chapter. All right, so that's our compass for this diet, ladies and gentlemen. I believe you're not scared and you're not perplexed that it's going to be a diet of work, and everything about AAAF is work. So you have to work hard, put in the grind. So I'll share some thoughts on how you're going to navigate the diet. I'll give you 5 or 4 nuggets that should stay with you. 4 nuggets that should stay with you, very importantly. So the first thing I will share or I'll advise you is that set a goal. What does it mean to set a goal? Decide what you want to score in the AAAF paper, Advanced Audit and Assurance. First time attempt, second time attempt, third time attempt, wherever you stand, please set a goal. I want to score this. Your goal could be 50, it's fine. I just want to pass 50, it's good. You could go ahead to set another goal to say 60, 55, 70, 80, 90, 95. That's a goal. The game of football, African Cup of Nations is on currently. If there's no goal post, the players just keep going around in circles, nothing to score. But there's always a goal post in the game of football. And for every sport, there's something you are going after. So what is your goal for the AAAF paper? Very important. So set the goal, and I'll suggest you write it down. A goal that is not written down, it's a goal that may not be achieved. So write that goal down. You're listening to me now. It's very important you decide what you want to score, then write it down. Simple. So write it down somewhere meaningful for practicing Christians, practicing Muslims, or just people that have special way of writing. I write in diary so much. So my Bible, or for Muslims, the Quran, or your diary. A written goal gives you direction. It's very important to take note of that. So please write down the score. Whatever you want to score, write it down. So that's the first advice. Set a goal and write it down, because a written goal gives you direction. It gives you direction as we're about to start. So that's the first advice. Number 2, work hard, work smart, and work strategically. You understand yourself, which is very important. Understand yourself. How do you study? How do you assimilate? Is it early in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it in the evening? Do you assimilate faster if you do 1 hour, 2 hours, or 30 minutes? Please understand yourself. It's very important to understand yourself. And make sure you work based on your capacity. Work based on your capacity. So work hard, work smart, and strategically. People have asked me, what's the shortest cut to pass AAA? I say there's no shortcut. Beverly Seals said, there is no shortcut to anywhere worth going in life. And that is it. There is no shortcut. You have to put in the grind. You have to work. You have to read, and read hard. Very hard. ICAN exams is a top-notch exam. A lot of people call it number 1 exam in Africa, which I seem to agree. Why? Because it's work. You have to work hard. AAAF rewards effort and strategy. I love what Denzel Washington said. He said, working really hard is what successful people do. Working really hard is what successful people do. So there's no shortcut. You just have to work hard, put in the grind. And consistency will always beat talent. No matter how brilliant you are, if you don't read, you will fail AAAF. I have a lot of first-class students in school that just tell you, I'm a first-class student. They came and I can humble them. Humble them with very, very ridiculous fail marks. They were shocked. So consistency will always beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's very important. So please, it cannot be over. I cannot overemphasize that. It's work. Putting up these slides is serious work for me. So please work hard. Work very hard. Work very hard. That's number 2. Then number 3, master the study part through practice. And you can see everything I've gone through those slides are question-centric. So master the study pack through practice. There are a lot of contents there in the study pack to help you practice. And with our slides and those questions that are not even from the study pack or from the Pathfinders, it will help you, it will resonate with you, it will relate every content you read in the study pack with a practicable question. So please read the study pack at least once. Ideally, it's good you read it twice, but at least you read the study pack once, then practice every question under timed conditions. Please don't read these solutions. If I share you the PDF document, don't just read the solutions. You won't grow. You won't understand what you are doing. You see, it's like a footballer that is playing or that refuses to play and is listening to the coach every day. He's listening to the coach. He doesn't play on the field. The match comes, he's going to flop. So if you are practicing, practice under time conditions and close the solution. Close the solution. If it's 15 marks or a 20-mark question or a 30-mark question, close the solution and write it as you are practicing. If you read a unit, you want to practice that question, you try the question before you open the solution. If you just read the question and you read the solution at the same time, oh, okay, you are just nodding your head. I'm telling you, that's not how to understand AAA or how to practice AAA. You need to look at timed conditions and put yourself under it as you are practicing, as you are reading. So don't just read the solution, write your answers, then compare them with the model answers, and that is the only way you will improve. So practice under exam condition. Practice under timed exam condition. And you see, the more you start it, you are beginning to simulate the day of the exam. The tension, the pressure is very important you do that. So master the study pack through practice. Then I can emphasize it. Practice, practice, practice those questions. Finally, pray and believe. I'm a believing Christian. I'm a practicing Christian. We have practicing Muslims. If you don't believe in God, well, I'm sorry. I believe in God and I believe in prayers. No matter your efforts, you need an unseen power, which is the Almighty, to crown that effort with His effect. So we need that effect. Of course, you work hard, but try to pray consistently and trust the Almighty for help. ICAN exam can be very tasking. It can be very draining. But once you ask for that help, you will get it. I can imagine some people may be taking 5 papers. Pressure, immense pressure. So you need help. So ask for that help as a Muslim, ask for that help as a Christian. The both faiths believe in prayer, which is very important. So also vow to give God the glory, give the Almighty the glory, that if you help me, I will say you helped me. Yeah, don't boast that I did this. Always try to give the Almighty the glory for giving you that capacity. If you vow to give Him the glory always, I mean, you'll be dazed at your results. So pray and believe. You've already taken the powerful step towards success by starting. So it's very important with those 4 advice. Our advice: you set the goal, work the plan, practice deliberately, then always pray, always. And I assure you, you got this. You can pass AAAF at first attempt or as you are reattempting. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, those are my 4 advice to you as we start our kickoff lectures. Our next lectures will be on Thursday. We'll be looking at chapter 1 in that class. So this is where we stop in this first Prepare to Pass class on the May Diet 2026 AAAF lecture class. All right. So I welcome questions, contributions, thoughts before we shut down for the night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can see our emojis. Thank you so much. All right. So please, you have any questions? You have any contribution? You have any comments? So please go ahead. The floor is yours. Thank you, Titi. Thank you. I can see your emojis. I appreciate that. Okay. So Mo. All right. Mo, go ahead. My very good friend, Mo. Please go ahead on mute and speak. Thank you, David. Seeing your emoji. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Mo, go ahead. I can hear you. I can see your hand. On mute and speak, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Fantastic group lecture. My question is, is the class going to is the class starting 9 or is it normal time 8 to 10?
Okay, thank you for that question. I must apologize for not starting early today, and that was because I had an emergency which I communicated appropriately. I'm so sorry. Our normal lecture time is 8 to 10. It's 8 to 10 prompt. And if there's any reason why I won't be available by 8, I don't stay in town, I stay in camp. So one or two things may hinder me from starting it. I'll definitely communicate appropriately. So in answering your question very succinctly, we start 8 to 10 on a normal day. So 8 to 10 is our class. And once again, I apologize for today's delay. I really apologize. Thank you for that question. All right. You're welcome, sir. Okay. So any other questions? Any other concerns? Any other thoughts? Please feel free. Like I used to say in all my previous diet, there's no stupid question and there's no brilliant question. All we need is clarity. And feel free to ask your question without any fear of reprimand. Please ask your questions very freely. Interject where you need to interject. And all you want is clarity. So please go ahead and ask your questions. Any other questions, please? So we can shut down and go to bed for the night. Like I said earlier, I'll try to share the slides before the class so that you can follow through very easily and seamlessly. All of our lectures and also the past questions will be shared before time. Most of them are on PDFs, and we did some of them on slides, or all of them on slides. Okay, maybe the lecture will be on slides, but the past questions will be on the normal format, PDF format, so that you could use your handles, your phones. When you are commuting to work, it will be easy for you to glance through and skim through just to share. Oh, okay. AA's hand is up. All right. A lot of hands. Fantastic. Okay. AA, let's start with AA. I can see AA. I can see Samuel. I can see Bosse. I can see Kendi. Okay. So let's start with AA. AA, please go ahead. Share your thoughts.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
My question is this. In terms of what you have highlighted to us in terms of the course outline and how you intend navigating it. In SBR, we have core areas like group accounts and the likes that you are so sure that it must come out. So can we say that the areas that we have like 8 units, anything around that, you are 100% sure that they must come out so that we can, this textbook is quite voluminous and so that we can read smartly as well. So can you suggest or can you say that these areas that are 8 units above, something like that, they are key areas that we should look at?
Fantastic question. Thank you so much, AA. So, like he said, any voluminous unit, like we have 9 units in reporting, be rest assured reporting always comes out. I've reviewed November 2014 past questions down to the recent date, November 2025. And reporting is always tested. It must be tested. So like he said, strategically, you need to read and focus on topics like that. So the chapters like reporting, chapter 14, or audit evidence, chapter 8, they must come out. Take note of my words, they must come out. So take note of those chapters, chapter 14, chapter 8, then audit planning, chapter 6, audit strategy, audit planning, chapter 6 and 7. Those are strategic topics that will come out. Then chapter 2, regulatory environment, professional ethics. Those are areas you need to put more weight on. Don't neglect others, but put more weight on those chapters. Application of IT must come at it, must test one IT question because we are in the IT age, artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain. So IT must come out. You must expect it. It came out last night. So like AA said, I agree. Those chapters, please put your weight and strategically read them and practice. Reporting, chapter 14. Audit evidence, chapter 8. Audit strategy, chapter 6. Audit planning, chapter 7. Regulatory environment, chapter 2. So application of IT in auditing, chapter 16. Take note of those special chapters. Very important. Thank you for that fantastic question. I hope I was able to provide context a bit to your concern.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right, let's go for Samuel. If anyone was Samuel, please go ahead. Share your thoughts.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Ife, okay. Nice to have you.
I need to, sir. Okay. My question is not really a question. Is an advice on how we read to retain, because like this is my second time of wanting to write this AA. I wrote last diet, and actually, even when what I read, I saw them in exam like a key audit matters and stuff like that. They came out reporting, but at a point I didn't know how to direct my answers properly. You understand, sir? So I don't know if you can direct us on how we'll be able to answer questions properly, and then it's to give the examiner what they really want from us. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So fantastic question, and I believe you are not in my last class. So we'll be treating questions based on the prompts. We'll be treating based on the prompts. We'll be looking at the prompts. We'll be looking at how to answer and what to write and how to write it. So for each of the unit questions, we'll start replicating how to address and how to write our answers, very importantly. So I'll be sharing strategies and also time management techniques on how you'll be able to answer based on the examiner prompts. So each unit, we'll start replicating that, we'll start mirroring that, we'll start practicing with that mindset, with that auditor mindset on how to navigate the paper. So every question that is presented to you has a way you should approach it. When an examiner says advise, when he says compare, contrast, there's something he wants you to do. When he says lists, outline, he wants you to do something. And if you don't do that, you're not going to get the mark. So from chapter 1, each of the units will be looking at how to address those prompts very practically. So please stay tuned. From chapter 1, we won't wait till the end of the diet before we start practicing. From day 1, we're beginning to practice for exams. And as you get used to these questions, as you get used to this approach, man, it will just be part of you. And when you see a question, you just know this is what the examiner wants. So good question. Thank you for bringing it to the fore. And I believe as we go on in the class, it will resonate with you and you understand practically how we are you need to go about that. Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. All right, let's have you, boss. Your hands are up. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It's nice to have you.
And God bless you.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, sir. Sir, according to the general timetable, the time for SFM and the time for this AAF, and they are colliding together. So how do we go about it?
All right. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Share your thoughts. Go ahead. Learn. Sorry to interject. Learn, please.
By 9 and this one 8. So yeah. I don't really know.
Okay. Actually, both of us are working class people, and those are the times convenient for us or accessible for us. What our advice is, if you may not be able to attend one of the second classes, you may have to do with the videos, because after this class, we always upload on our YouTube channel. So you still have chance to go to the YouTube channel to assess what has gone for either the SFM or for the audit. So it's very important to take note of that. Please give me a minute. Let me attend to something. A second, please. All right, pardon me. I had to attend to that emergency. Okay, so like I was saying, both sessions are recorded for SFM and for Advanced Audit. So you may need to make that sacrifice and have to do with the recording or the video. So whichever one that is pressing, if it's SFM, it's Audit. But don't worry, you'll get the recording after the class. But for the clashes, it has to be that way this time around because that's what is accessible and obtainable for both tutors. You may not be able to attend both live classes at the same time, but then just try to make do with the recording for now. Huh? I hope that's okay with you, Ife.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, is it Ife I spoke to or to Bosse?
Bosse.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice to get that feedback. Thank you, Bosse. Okay, so let's go for Bright. Bright, please go ahead, unmute and speak. Bosse, your hands are still up, or do you still want to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, your hands are still up. I thought you want to speak. All right. Paul, please go ahead. Go ahead, Paul. Let's hear your thoughts. Hello, Paul. Are you there?
Can you hear me, sir? Good evening,
yes,
sir.
Yes,
good evening.
I can hear you. Yeah, good evening. Nice to have you. Welcome.
All right. So, thank you for Ifedima for the concern she raised about answering questions, because I think this was one of the reasons I fed last night. It's not like the questions I come across was not the questions I read. Most of the questions I know I read them. Just like the expectation gaps, the rest of them, and the secondment of audit opinion. I come across them, but I don't know how. I can't just give an explanation of how I fed advanced audit and assurance. But thank God I'm here now. Thank God I've met you. Thank God I hope that we get the best from you. And this time, made direct, we get it done.
Amen. Amen. I'm glad for that. And I believe with the appropriate and right strategy and the right practice, you'll get it done this time around. Thank you very much for that feedback. I appreciate it. All right. Mo, your hand is still up. Mo, you want to say something? Please go ahead. Hello, Mo. If you are speaking, you are muted. Your hands are up. Mo. Your hands are up. Okay, maybe he's struggling to speak. Let's hear Sophia then. Sophia's hand is also up. Sophia, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Nice to have you.
Yeah. Please, I just want to bring suggestion based on what Mr. Demola said earlier.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it can be possible. Maybe like what Ademola said about this, like SBR. They always start with this.
I think her network logged her off. All right, maybe she'll come back very soon. Can we hear you now, Mo? Mo, are you there?
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
I wanted to ask.
All right, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about the SFM because I don't know when actually they start the online classes, because I noticed on the WhatsApp group it shared a timetable which stated that they started from December, and I don't know exactly when.
Yeah, you may need to go to the platform. So what I'll do is I'll share with you, maybe privately, I'll share with you the times or when they started practically. I can't really have that practically now, but I'll go to the platform and see when they started, and I'll share with you, and also the times that they will be having their classes for SFM. Yeah, I'll share with you privately. Yeah, share with you. Okay. Sophia is back. All right, Sophia, please go ahead. I believe you had a glitch in your network. Please go ahead.
Yes, sorry.
No problem.
So I'll say I don't know. Maybe if those questions like those 30 marks question and 20 marks question, whether you can still first tackling all the questions before those. Now, I will not say it's minor ones, because now I can say that our brain is very open. You know, say there is a stage it will reach. Everybody, our brain will be running head and scatter.
It will be hot. I understand.
So I understand. I can be able to download it very fast. So.
Very well.
That's my
candid. All right. Thank you so much for that. So we'll see how to maybe look at the 30 marks first, 20 marks, 15 in course of the lecture. So what we're doing is, because of the units and because of the volume of each unit, there are some units that are more voluminous than the others. Some chapters are more heavy in content, or much in content than some others. So that is why we splitted those questions across 30, 15, 20 marks. But it's a good suggestion. Thank you for bringing it to the fore. We'll see how to look at the heavy ones first before the lower ones. Let me don't say insignificant ones, but lower ones, as you suggested. So thank you for that suggestion. We'll see how to integrate that during the lectures. Thank you so much. All right, Bright, your hands are still up. You still want to speak? You're welcome. You're welcome, Sophia. All right, Bright, you still want to speak? Your hands are up. Okay.
Okay, so please, do you have a summarized note for advanced audit and assurance?
No, but I'm working on a summary note, which I will share before the diet. The slides are actually a summary with some analogies, but then a full summary may be provided before the diet is over. So the main text is almost 1,000 pages. So we'll see a summary. I work on a summary that is like 100 pages. 10% of the full slide will suffice. Well, it's still work in progress. We'll work on that and share appropriately with you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, Huma, your hands are up. Please go ahead. Thank you, Ife. I saw your emoji. Huma, please go ahead, speak. Unmute and speak. Maybe you're speaking, you're muted. Your hands are up.
Okay. Thank you. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, I want to really appreciate your effort. May God bless you abundantly.
Amen. Amen.
My question is this. This is my first time of taking AAF.
Okay.
This ISA 240, this, how do you really apply it while answering questions? Do you mention the code and write what it means? How can you code all the, because they are so numerous, unlike that of ER. Yeah, we have 41 this, 4 this, all these numbers. How can one really assimilate them so that you can easily identify what each of them has to do with the question?
Wow, fantastic question. All right, so currently there are 38 ISAs. There are 38 of them. ISA down from the 200 series to the 800 series. There are 38 of them. So I'll be sharing a document as the class goes on all the ISAs. Now, in answering your question, you will need to understand the ISAs by content first. Nobody is going to ask you, what is ISA 240? You need to apply ISA 240 that you understand to the scenario in the question. So ICAN is not going to ask you what is ISA 450, what is ISA 540, what is ISA 706. No, they will ask you provide you a scenario. Then based on the understanding of your ISAs, what the ISA represents, ISAs are international standards on auditing. They are the standards that guide the practice and the audits of financial statements and the work of audits generally. So you will need to understand those ISAs before you can apply them to the question. So to the questions. So as we go ahead with the lectures, like we said, all our lectures are question centric. Take note of it. They are question centric. So those ISAs will be replicated in all the sessions. Every sessions will be looking at how to apply those ISAs, what the ISAs are, and how to apply them in scenario-based questions. So stay tuned. I'm glad you're coming for the first time, and I believe you navigate it very seamlessly. You see, one thing with the ISAs is don't cram them, just understand them. Understand them. Once you are able to memorizing is different from cramming. If you can memorize an ISA, applying it now is easier because you remember it under any scenario-based trigger. Anything that triggers it, you just remember the ISA that, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do based on the law or the standard that guides this question or this scenario. So stay tuned from chapter 1 down to chapter 16. I believe you'll see how to apply it graphically and practically. I'm glad your curiosity is rising, and with the lectures and everything, you begin to see that there's light at the tunnel. So good question. Thank you for bringing it to the fore.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Okay. So any other questions? Fantastic questions. I appreciate your engagement and your concerns, your thoughts. Fantastic thoughts. Hilma, your hands are still up. You still want to share? Still want to ask a question? I guess not. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, this is where we'll halt for the night. And I'll say, well done, and do have a lovely night rest. See you on Thursday as we look at chapter 1. Thank you for the emojis. I appreciate them. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you for the emojis. So good night and have a lovely night rest. Bye.